Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, so this could be some really fantastic news. Of course, we have to take it with a grain of salt, and I would have liked it to come a lot earlier, but we can only... Anyway, let's move on. So, Trump is saying that he is going to close the southern border. Democrats don't fund the wall. Which, I'm sure y'all know my feelings about the wall, but here's the thing. This could be great because there's absolutely no way for the Border Patrol to check all vehicles. They only get about 10%. They even admit that. And so honestly, they should kind of just do it anyway until Mexico can get their cartels under control, if that's possible. And I could just imagine the cartels are going to be like trying to figure out how to get into the U.S. You know, it also makes me a little concerned because of the fact that, and it's a partial shutdown, but if you don't know that the Coast Guard actually falls under the Department of Homeland Security, not the DOD. I mean, DHS, yes, and not the Department of Defense. So the Department of Defense is still running, but the Coast Guard is not, meaning Colombia can take as much ships through into the Gulf of Mexico, which is right off of my border, and bring in as much cocaine as they want, or fentanyl, or whatever they're bringing these days. That's one concern about this government shutdown that I have, but I really feel that Trump is just having a moment of clarity and kind of seeing that the things that he was doing wasn't really working, and maybe he's seeing that he's being played. I mean, I cannot speak for him personally, but maybe he's seeing what we're seeing, or he could. I really think that he's seeing that he's losing his base with his extremely harsh, with his ties to Israel. I really think that he is starting to see that we are not happy with that at all, because we are starting to see what's really going on and how BB is blowing up everybody and making us have to clean up his messes, which they have always done, you know, use the American sons and daughters as cannon fodder. I don't know, I can't speak for him, but I'm hoping that this is going to be a good thing. I have a cave, and unfortunately they'll just keep bringing drugs in. But this, again, could be a good thing. We'll just have to wait and see. I really do think that he might be seeing that the people he aligned himself with weren't good. Like Ivan Duque in Colombia and Bolsonaro in Brazil. Bolsonaro is doing some pretty crazy stuff. He just announced that he was going to put 130 snipers on the streets to just start randomly shooting people. He is a big fan, and I've talked about this before when people were all about Bolsonaro. He is all about the military dictatorship that they had in Brazil. For 2 decades it was just essentially the country was ran by a military dictatorship, and he is all about that. Bolsonaro is all about that, the military dictatorship, and he doesn't care that innocent lives will be lost because of this. I'll show you some articles in just a second. It's pretty insane. It would be like martial law would be here, and the civilians, or you know, people that aren't guilty of anything, are the ones that are being killed. A couple days ago, he hasn't even been sworn in. That's what's scary, and he's already starting all of this. But so this could be a good thing, and I'm sure you've all heard about bombing Syria on Christmas. That's it. I swear they have no, they don't care about anybody or anything, and it sickens me that these are the people that we align ourselves with. I hope he's seeing that he's losing his base over this, and he's gonna change what he's saying, because what Ivan Duque in Colombia is doing is making the very wrong people very unhappy. Not wrong people, but the people that you don't want to upset. That's what he's doing. Ivan Duque is the president of Colombia. Yeah, Colombia. He just fired like his whole military staff and everything, and which is a big deal, because I'm not going to go into all that because it's pretty complicated. But let's look at the article about closing down the border wall. Did I say closing down the border wall? I meant closing down the southern border. My bad. Let's look at it. Okay, so Trump is threatening to close the border, terminate trade deals, cut aid unless wall is funded, which cutting aid is freaking amazing. He's saying he's going to stop aid to Mexico and some Central American countries, which is Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. I want y'all to remember those. El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala. Nothing about Venezuela, although he screwed him enough, him and the other administrations. Here's my question. Why isn't he stopping aid to Colombia? We're sanctioning Venezuela, doing all this, but we haven't sanctioned or done anything to Colombia or Mexico. Look very closely at these maps. It's very obvious where the drugs are originating from and how they're getting into our country. So if they really wanted to stop this, then shutting down the southern border would be an amazing idea. But thanks for watching, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Join me on Patreon. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye, guys.